Dear friends, in this video, I'd like to use Python to write a program to detect cross-site scripting vulnerability. As you know, this vulnerability allows attacker to inject malicious executable script code, for example, like JavaScript, into the web application. This would be very dangerous. For example, can retrieve the cookie of the victim's machine. We can test this vulnerability manually. However, in other case, we can use Python to automate this process. So enough talk, let's just get started. We can switch into the Linux VM. As you can see, I use the DVWA application as our target. And so the principle which lies at the background would be we can submit. First of all, we need to find the field which allow us to submit information. And if we submit specific payload, and if such a payload is replied back from the web application or from the target, so it will be possible that the web application is vulnerable to the XSS vulnerability. Okay, so now we can go to the PyCharm editor. So the step would be like this one. So the first step would be retrieve the page or download the page. For example, this page. Next, we need to extract the form tag. For example, like input, for example, like a text area. And then we need to construct the payload and send or submit it to the web application. Okay, and the fourth step would be check the payload to check whether payload is in the response. Okay, we need to import some modules. The first one is third-party module requests, which allow us to send a request and receive response. And another would be sys, a module which can capture users' input. And another important module is beautiful soup from BS4 import beautiful soup. This module can help us to extract a specific tag, specific attribute from the HTML source code. And first of all, we need to make conditional lim main we can capture the index error except index error. We can print out the usage URL and followed by the payload. Payload would be some random string. In this program, I will not use JavaScript code to do such testing. Okay, and followed by the payload. And optionally, we can specify the cookie because sometimes we need to get authenticated to test some page. Okay. And also we can print out the example DVWA and the payload, for example, like JSON, something like that. And then cookie, we can specify the cookie. Of course, such cookie should be valid. Otherwise, we cannot get down the response correctly. Okay, sys archive. And if we capture index error, we can exit the program. If no such error, we can define the variable. The URL should be sys archive. And the payload, if the sys archive is larger than 3, it means that the user has already specified the cookie. So the cookie string should be sys archive, else cookie string can be none. And then we can call the function URL payload cookie. So next we need to define this function. Define main URL payload. We can use the same lim for the parameters. Cookie string. Okay, pass. First of all, I think we need to convert this cookie in the format of the string to the dictionary, because if we want to pass the cookie into the request module, whatever, like get method or the post method, we need to pass it in the format of the dictionary. Okay, so how to do? We can define convert cookie string, and the cookie would be like this one. And first of all, we need to check this one, this symbol. If there is such a symbol in the cookie string, it means that the more than one pairs of key and value. Okay, so we can, if in cookie string, and then of course, first of all, we can define the cookie dictionary, the empty, and then we can for each in cookie split by this symbol or separator, and then cookie, the key should be each split by the equal symbol or character, and the first element should be the key, and the second would be the value. Okay, and then if no this symbol, we can cookie dictionary should be cookie split the first cookie string split. Okay, then we can return this cookie dictionary. Okay, so now we can the cookie, if cookie string is not long, then the cookie dictionary should be convert cookie and cookie string. Now we can go on. Next, I think we need to download the page. Okay, we can define the page, the URL, and also the cookie. If cookie is not long. And then we can response requests get URL. It's not none. And the cookie is the cookie. This time, the cookie has already been converted into the dictionary format. Okay? And then we can return response text. If else, if the cookie is a none, and then we can response requests get URL. And maybe we can return response text. We can remove this line. Okay, so next I think we can response should be or text get page the URL cookie dictionary. Okay, else text is get page URL. Why this one? Cookie. Okay. Else URL. And also cookie. So now at this point, we have already downloaded the page, for example, this page. Next, we need to extract the form element or form editor. Sorry, not editor. For example, like a tag, like input text area, because we need to fill in our value. For example, this one, we need to fill in with our payload. So I think next we need to define another function, extract the form and the text. So the HTML, this time we need to use build soup. The text and the parser is html.parser. Okay, and we need to want to extract all input tags. So it would be HTML find all input, and also we want to extract text area tag HTML find all text area. If len input tags is larger 0, it means that the response has such input tag. Okay, so how to do? We can for input tags, and then pass. Similarly, we can for also we need to make conditional 0 for text area tag in text area tags. Okay, and also we can define the form payload at this moment is empty. This should be dictionary. Okay, and also because in this case there are several forms like this one and this one, we do not want to extract such forms, or in other words, I'd like to exclude these two forms. So how to do? If you check, we can you can check the value should be view help. Okay, and on click. So I think I want to extract or exclude these two input. So how to exclude? We can, if input tag has attribute value and input tag get the value, the view in this value, for example, like a view source or view help, and we just continue, right? And if input tag has attribute value, and then we want to form payload, the key should be input tag get the name. So this one should be, this case should be this one. We want to get the name, okay? And should be input tag get the value, okay? Else form payload input tag get name is equal to none at this moment. Similarly, here we can do the same. We can form the text area tag get the name and none. Okay, so now we can return form payload. Okay, so now we can form payload, extract form and the text. So now we come to this step, the third step. We need to fill in our payload and submit to the web application. Okay, so how to do? We can for each in form. This should be the dictionary, right? And we can get the K and the V. If V is not long, if it is long, and then form payload can be the payload. Okay, the user can specify any payload. Next, we need to make another conditional. If the cookie string is not long, then we can response requests post URL and followed by the data should be form payload, and then cookie should be cookie dictionary. Of course, I think we can. Oh, and then we can check whether the response has the payload. So if payload is in response text, print the web application is probably vulnerable to XSS. Otherwise, print the web application is not vulnerable to XSS. Okay. If else, we can do the same thing. We can copy and paste in here and do some changes here. Okay, so I think it's done. Now we can test. Now we can run Python. And we can put the payload and also the cookie. We can get this. We can refresh. And we can get the cookie from the browser. We can copy. Paste in here. Press enter. As you can see, the web application is probably vulnerable to XSS vulnerability. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.